Oh, hi there. As you can see, I've got my character that I made in Blender, and now I'm porting them in the Character Creator. But I understand, like most of you, that there the Reallusion system is not the best for getting our characters we made in external programs working. So I'm just trying to, and it took me hours and actually weeks to figure this out, piecing together from tutorials to understand this process. So I'm gonna try to share with you what I've learned, and it's not completely automated like it should be. So Reallusion needs to work on that, but at the end you can still get a pretty good result. So I got this character right here. He's a stylized character. You can see he's supposed to be like a stylized version of Jon Snow, but I'm just using him as an example in this case. As you can see,
Hi there, I'm a digital character created with Character Creator.
I
And as
got
you can see, I can act, talk, and have lively expressions. I look forward to being part of your upcoming animation works.
so as you can
Hi
see,
there, I'm a digital character created with Character Creator. And as you can see, I can act, talk, and
I got him talking, so that works. Um, I got him walking with the little built-in animations and Character Creator. Everything's fine. Um, if you've used the Blender Meta Rig and you try to bring it in, even though Character Creator recognizes it and is supposed to be able to work with it, you'll find some issues. I found the issue that it kind of switches the two hands around, so he kind of he walks like everything else will work fine, but he'll be like walking like with each hand like crossed across his body in a very awkward position. So I don't know that the Blender Mega Rig works too well. Um, Supposedly the Auto Rig Pro rig's supposed to work. I haven't had any great success with that. The only success I've had uh, is following this process, which I'm going to show you. So you go right here. It's not showing right now, but for some reason I'm not sure why. But you're supposed to rig this character, your character you bring in from an external application. You rig them with Accurig, so you can do that in the free version or also the built-in version, the Character Creator. Um, I'm not sure why it's not showing up now. Maybe it's because I've already rigged them. I'm not sure. Um, you could also so basically in Accurig, you I don't know why it's not showing up, but basically you do the same process with you just the points on the body that it gives you, and then you generate the points, and you generate points for the hand. You match them up like they're supposed to be, and then you bind the characters to the rig, and that should work out fine. And you'll find like it works fine here, as far as like him being able to walk like he does. But if you try to go to like the facial profile editor, edit expressions, like you can see like it works for this, but it won't work for you at that point in time after you use the Accurig. You'll just be able to like to make them walk and stuff and do like the built-in animations, but none of the facial stuff will work. So what you have to do is you gotta go to export, close character, and depending on whatever application you want to send it to, I use Blender, right? And then you want to go to Blender, and then you want to use Mesh and Expression Sequence. That's what you want to use. So you do that, and you export, and you save it to your file to wherever, right? And then in Blender, so and you're gonna then you go to Blender, right? So I'm just waiting for Blender to open. You go to where you save the file at, or you export it in as because you saved it as an XBF. When it exports it as an XBF when you do Character Creator. So I'm just looking for the one that I need. For some reason, I don't know. For some reason that one's not working. So try to export another one. Import XBF. I think I actually saved over one of the older files by mistake. But anyway, so you got your guy in here, and let's see. You see how it generates all these it generates some vertex groups because it sends out a rig. Character Creator gives you the actor rig, which Accurig creates, right? So you created an Accurig. So this is what it sends to the XBF file that you can open in Blender, and this guy he's an individual pieces. So you know each part is gonna have its own groups and shape keys. But if your character was all together, all the pieces were together, they'd all be you just have one mesh with all the same vertex groups and shape keys. So they have a bone weighting process, or they call it skin weighting, and Character Creator skin weights. Okay, so but it's not very good. So it's still, I guess, in its infancy. So it still has a lot to be desired. So, I mean, if you take it in here and you see your mesh here, it has all these groups, and the bones here, the bone name should match up with the with most of the groups. It has some bones included in here that aren't and it doesn't generate a group for some of the bones here. So you could create your own group as long as the same name of the bone you want to weight, and then you could weight it. I mostly just used the edit mode to do it, but I guess you could use the vertex paint to do it. But I found vertex the edit mode, and assigning vertexes that way, that seems to work easier for me. So you can weight it here, right? You can do your weights here, and it should translate better. It's easier to do weights in Blender than it is in Character Creator. So, but you see, now you get to the shape keys, right? So it generates these shape keys. Once you send it out, you export it to an XBF from the way that I showed you. But all the shape keys are empty. So you basically have to do. This is where it's like sucks, because I mean it gives you all these shape keys, and for whatever reason, when you create it like in this way, the shape key that it automatically gives you, Character Creator recognizes that, so like it can use it. But you could manually try to create this, and I've tried, but I think if like you misspell something and for some reason like it might recognize like say, hey, this is an actor core rig, but then the rig won't work, so, or the shape keys won't work. So the best way is just to send it, export it as an XPF file from Character Creator, so it generates these shape keys for you, and then you just have, now at this point you have to manually, do all the shape keys, and it's kind of weird because it doesn't really show you. Character Creator doesn't do a good job of showing you like what these are supposed to look like, what each facial expression. So if you go to facial profile editor, edit expressions, your best bet is to like make a list. Some of them are self-explanatory, like brow raised on the inner side of the brow raised on the left side. So that's pretty self-explanatory, I know. So, but some of it is like weird, like you have tongue down, tongue tip down, and tongue narrow, and then all these different like like mouth shapes that you're supposed to fill in with shape keys, but it doesn't do a good job of some, like this one did like a good job. They did a good job explaining how that's supposed to look, because they're using all these shape keys to create the expressions on your character's face. So like mouth down lower, like they did a good job explaining that, but some of them, a lot of the ones in here are kind of vague, like mouth pucker, like what's that? Mouth funnel. So you kind of, if you have like another character in Character Creator, like one of the built-in characters, you can probably like go through that, and then export them that way, and then export them as XBF, open it in Blender, and then see what they're trying to say, what this mouth shape should look like, and then maybe like take a screen capture of it and make a list so like what everything looks like, because that's basically what I had to do. And then you just manually go through and like make every shape key. Like you can use sculpting somewhat on some of them, but some of them are like left and right, so they're only for a left side or right side. So just keep that in mind as far as when you're creating them. And then some are are symmetrical, like mouth closed. That's a symmetrical one. And so you just go through and you have to manually create all these shape keys. You have to do it manually. It sucks, but that's what you have to do. And then once you're done with that, you can export the XBF from Blender, and then go back into Character Creator, and then you can do all the things you saw me do now with his eyes. Like Once you export them back in, and you go to edit expressions, then this now before it would have been blanked out. You wouldn't have been able to move this, but now you can. So because you do it, and then you filled out all that info, and you imported it back in to see Character Creator, and now it recognizes the actor core rig because it generated it itself, and you filled in all the shape key information. And if you took your chance to weight those bones, then the jaw should move and everything fine. So now you're able to do everything you saw me doing in the beginning. It's like making the character's mouth move, and making them talk. But more importantly, like once you rig it in the Accurig in the first time around, you could like make them do pretty much any motion, but the facial stuff won't work. You have to go through the process I just explained to get the facial animation to work, like the eye blinks, like you have to do what you see what he's doing. He's blinking. So you have to do what I did in Blender in order to get this to work, and then everything will work fine. Like you said, like I showed you before, he's able to talk and do all that. So that's how you do it. It's kind of a drawn out process. Reallusion should really get to work on this and give us a better weighting process in Character Creator. But for now, if you want to get your character going and you don't want to have to use one of their pre-made character, you want to use your own character, this is how you have to do it for now until they make whatever improvements they need to make. I hope this is helpful to you, any of you out there trying to do this. Some of you may have pieced this together. I know it took me weeks to piece it together because all the tutorials, I give you bits and pieces, but not the whole thing. But this is how you do it. Apologize, I just made this on short notice. So I hope you find this helpful. Thank you.